We are gonna head on over to 2022. We're gonna take a trip into the future. It's already next year in Malaysia. So give it up for Samad.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Um, hello from the future. I can.
That's right.
The sun
Tell me
came
what
out and
dream
it
you
was.
want.
It rained. It rained past midnight. I'm telling you, it's true. Uh, so anyway, it's great to be back. I just want to say it's such a it's always interesting because I'm performing from the future. I just have a blast. It's such a lame joke, but it's really fun. So it's nice to see familiar faces. David Gans, John, of course, Deborah, and thanks to everyone saying hi to me in the chat as well. Um, every time I do this, this is the closest I'll feel to being back in the Bay Area. I used to live in Berkeley from '07 to 2011. It was 5 wonderful years in the Bay Area and a lot of good musical memories there. A lot of performances, a lot of food, a lot of hanging out with cool people. So this is this is such a trip for me, virtually speaking. So I'm gonna bring you guys to Malaysia and just play some Malaysian music and also one of my songs that is inspired by one of my dad's a poet. As you can see, there's a lot of books in the background, all this craziness of books. Um, I'm gonna play you first a song called Getaran Jiwa, which is by P. Ramlee. And P. Ramlee was kind of a Malaysian Renaissance man. He was an actor, he was a director, uh, songwriter, performer, guitar player. He did a lot of cool things. And this song is kind of like a Malaysian jazz standard, so it will sound like similar jazz harmonies you hear from Tin Pan Alley tunes from the 30s and 40s. But it's a Malaysian song that celebrates how melody, when you music is basically gone if you separate melody and rhythm. And this one's called Getaran Jiwa, Stirring of the Soul. Hope you like this. thank you, John. Thank you, David. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Beth. Bert. Thanks, Bert. Yeah, so that's Guitar and Jiwa. And the next one, I'm gonna probably play it as a medley. But P. Ramlee also he wrote a lot of songs for all these movies, and one of the songs he wrote is actually called Di Waktu Pagi, which means in the morning time. So which is suitable because it's like 7:42 a.m., which is an unnatural waking time for me unless I go for walks, which otherwise it means it's perfectly normal. Which I am going for a walk after this, so it's all good. So Di Waktu Pagi, I thought it was like completely his original song, but later on I discovered that the same melody is, I think it's a folk melody in Middle Eastern traditions. I'm not sure from which country in particular, but I heard the same melody of all places. I heard the exact same melody played in a festival in West Virginia. And I was just like, why are you playing a Malaysian song? Then I realized that the same folk melody has been played in different traditions as well. So I was just like, okay, it was very, if we study like even like American blues music and rock music, and especially like things like in the 50s and 60s, it's not copyright is not how it is right now, and how melodies are taken and adapted are a bit different the way people looked at it back then. So Di Waktu Pagi, which is a Malaysian song, or it could be a song from somewhere else, heard in West Virginia. And after that, I'm gonna go to Nighttime, which is a song called Malam Bulan di Pagar Bintang, which means night moon gated by stars, which is a really romantic love song by P. Ramlee as well. And yeah, so I'm gonna go from morning to night. We'll see how this goes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why the morning song is in the morning is A minor and the nighttime song is in C major. But you know, I haven't gone that deep into understanding that part of it. But I love those two songs a lot. Next one is one of my originals, and this one is inspired by one of my dad's poems. I grew up in like basically I grew up out with mostly books around me and less people, which makes me say really awkward things at weird times and just like I'm better at talking to inanimate objects. I generally say hi to teddy bears and gruffalos and soft toys and all sorts of things that will not say back hi back to me. So this is the truth. This is true. I do say hi to inanimate objects and soft toys a lot. But just growing up in a household full of books led me to discovering a lot of things. You know, J.D. Salinger. Well, J.D. Salinger is one of my favorite ones, and just a lot of different kinds of books and history books. In fact, the weirdest thing the other day was on Twitter. I took a picture of like just this part of the bookshelf, and one of the writers, David Kurtzer for Ritual, Politics, and Power, he somehow found me on Twitter and he said, "Oh, and a lovely book. My book ended up in a bookshelf in Indonesia." And he retweeted it, and he's like a professor or something. So I was like, okay, interesting that this just gets discovered. Anyways, all that said, this is this is based on my dad's poem, which is about kind of oppression of people in smaller housing or illegal housing, I guess. But it's also equally inspired by the music of Jimi Hendrix. I wrote this when I was like, I don't know, 19 or 20, so it's been 20 plus years. But I still love playing this. And this is Lata Stingad. Awesome. So thank you so much. I think that's it for me, John. We're good.
One more. One more.
One more. Okay, cool,
If you don't
cool.
mind.
Of course I don't mind. I get to basically live my whole musical history. um, well, the story is this. To be really, really honest, guys, I really envy every single freaking singer songwriter I meet because I actually really want to be a singer songwriter, and it's partly because of Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Ani DeFranco, Aeneas Mitchell, and another friend of mine, Pete Teo, who's a Malaysian singer-songwriter who acted opposite Scarlett Johansson and got his face kicked or something by Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. Anyway, all these different people inspired me, but I really don't practice singing that much, and so I don't have a lovely singing voice. But I do write songs in the style of singer-songwriters I like, and this is one called Serendipity in Surrender, which is my attempt to be a singer-songwriter without actually singing. So he has folksy things, and this one's dedicated to my girlfriend Yin, who's probably watching this, and I hope she was there when I wrote the song. So this goes out to Yin. Serendipity in Surrender. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Oz. Great as
Thank you.
always.
Always a pleasure, John. Thanks,
Happy New
everyone.
Year.
Great to
Happy
hear
New
you.
Year, guys.
And tell me, how's 2022? How's it going so far?
So far, it's a little colder than usual. But otherwise, it looks like a nice morning. So I hope you guys get a beautiful morning as well.
Yeah. Well, the sun's out, so that's good.
Yeah, it's good.